What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Legitical Response. I cover political news, and that's exactly what we're doing today. We're talking about the gaslighting of you. You are being gaslit into oblivion. These people are dividing the country. They're not helping the situation. The corporate press, they put out this false narrative that, that everything's okay, Democrats are good, Republicans are evil, Christians are evil because they're bigots. It's insane. All of it's insane. But they get into stuff like this. Check this out, y'all. Trump supporter sues New York Mets for $2 million over MAGA hat ban. Now, they call it a ban, but it's not really a ban. What they did to this lady is insane. These people don't care about the First Amendment. They don't care about your opinions. They want you to shut up and sit down and go away and not say anything. I don't understand it. They paint Donald Trump in the worst possible light while his supporters are over here looking at everything good he's doing. He wants to make America great again. And you get people on the left say, he's just doing it for his ego. The only thing Donald Trump ever does is for himself. Well, you know what? He wants to be a revered figure. He wants to be the best president ever. And how do you do that? How do you get to be the best president ever? Not by what Donald Trump is actually doing. He doesn't have to be doing this. He could be just living it up. Could be living the life. He's a billionaire. He could go through life, not have to worry about all these assassination attempts, not have to worry about being slandered into oblivion like they're doing. They say that he only does this to boost his own ego. Well, you know what I say to that? If the result of Donald Trump boosting his ego is a boost in our economy, our borders are secured, there's less war in the world because he wants to be revered by the entire world, wants to be the most famous person ever. If there's a positive outcome for the result of Trump boosting his ego, what does any of this matter? What does that argument matter? If he's going to make America great again in the process. I don't get this. And these people, they just hate this guy. Let's get into it and see what this is all about. A Trump supporter is suing the New York Mets for $2 million in damages after allegedly being prohibited from entering Citi Field until she removed her Make America Great Again hat. Ora Moody, a Republican from Queens, said the team violated her rights to free speech and caused her emotional distress, according to a report by the New York Post. Moody filed a lawsuit accusing the Mets of racial discrimination, political retaliation, and reputational harm. She stated that on August 14th, she and her friend attended a Mets game, both wearing MAGA hats, alongside 8 members of the Queens Village Republican Club. After passing through security, a stadium staffer allegedly told them they couldn't enter while wearing the hats. When Moody invoked her First Amendment rights, the staffer reportedly told her that the hat was too political to be worn inside. No, that doesn't violate any rules whatsoever because we have the First Amendment. These people can't do this. They know that staffer knew that doesn't violate their rules and does violate the First Amendment. But they are so Trump deranged that they don't care. This person didn't get fired, by the way, but we'll get into that. They don't care. They try to paint Trump as this evil, dictatorial person. Right? We covered that the other day. Cenk Uygur he refuses to turn down the rhetoric on Donald Trump, even though people are trying to assassinate Donald Trump. And that they don't correlate that their rhetoric is directly responsible for this. It's not just partly responsible, because if they weren't constantly calling Trump an existential threat to the country, a danger, a monster, a dictator, worse than Hitler, for crying out loud, do you think these people would be trying to kill him? Right? Make that logical connection in your brain. Do you think if they toned down the rhetoric, if they didn't constantly call Trump every single dirty name in the book, trying to paint him as the worst man in history, do you think people would try to kill him? No. That's a direct result of their rhetoric. But they don't care, folks. They'll come out and say, we condone all political violence, but Trump is a monster. He must be stopped. Somebody please do it. That's what they say. That's insane to me, and it's tearing this country apart. And I can't stress that enough. And I'm getting shadow banned into oblivion for trying to tell everybody this. So please, guys out there, share this video everywhere you can. Go to X, post a link. Post a link on Instagram, on Facebook, TikTok, everywhere you can. Share these videos. It really helps, and it helps to get the word out about the truth about what's going on in this country. These people are trying to destroy us. Us. They want the MAGA movement to sit down, shut up, and buy into the corporate press narrative when they just lie to you constantly. I can't do that, personally. I can't take those lies. And just sitting down. I'm sorry. That's not how reality works. Reluctantly, Moody and her friend agreed to remove their hats, only to avoid inconveniencing their group. So they were passive about it, right? Like, they shouldn't have been passive about it, but they did it. They did it anyway, right? Trying to de-escalate the situation because they don't want a problem with these people. But these people are deranged, folks, and they won't have it whatsoever. Moody asked if she could place the hat in her bag, but was allegedly told no, because you can put the hat back on when you get into your seat. You have to take the MAGA hat out of the stadium, according to court filings. Once again, this is all alleged. There is no video evidence of this. But why would somebody spend that much money to sue the New York Mets for this? Why would they make that up? In other words, why would they make up that specific story? If they were just looking for a payday, they could slip and fall or do something to sue the New York Mets. Something other than this. Right? These people are so deranged, and we've seen this before. We've seen this a lot. People tearing down Trump signs in people's yards, for crying out loud. We've all seen the viral videos of this. I saw one that just hit the spot for me, man. Some guy electrified his Trump sign. And when somebody tried to come in and tear it down, they got a shock. Yeah, literally. They got a jolt of electricity that ran through their body that told them, no, you can't do this. It's destruction of personal property. But we see it all over the place. These people have so much vitriol for Trump supporters. They hate us. They don't care. It's insane. It's all insane. We can't have a good, honest conversation at all because these people will come off the hinges and just get deranged, start yelling and screaming, you're supporting a dictator. It's all just insane to me. This really has to be turned down. We need to figure out some sort of a way. If the corporate press would come out and be fair, just fair, that's all we're asking for, is to be fair. We wouldn't have this problem, y'all. This problem would not be nearly as bad. But they have to lie. They have to up the ante because the mainstream narrative machine is failing because they keep on lying to everybody. People lose trust in the corporate press and the mainstream news because they continuously lie about Donald Trump. They'll take out of context clips and run a totally different narrative like he was saying this when it was really that. Like the bloodbath hoax, the good people on both sides hoax. There's several to point out. There's all kinds of... They always take something Trump says out of context. Just right out of context. And it's insane. It really is. In her legal filings, Moody claims she knew she was being racially targeted and politically retaliated against for being a black woman wearing a MAGA hat. So she requested to speak to a supervisor. The supervisor allegedly confirmed that they had violated stadium policy. Ultimately, Moody and her friend had to call a friend they carpooled with to place their hats in the car. The Mets initially acknowledged the incident, saying the employee had made an error regarding the stadium's attire policy. We are reaching out to Ora Moody to apologize and invite her back to the ballpark, the team said. The Mets also apologized to Moody over the phone, confirming there is no policy against wearing MAGA hats and stating that the staff has been retrained. However, they have not commented on the lawsuit, per the New York Post. So, these people are deranged too, but they understand that this violates the First Amendment, and they have to tell her this. They have to try to appease this lady because she's going to sue them into freaking oblivion, and for good freaking reason. Why would you not fire this employee? Because you support what they did. That's the only reason you wouldn't fire this person. They violated somebody's First Amendment rights. And you, New York Mets, are going to get sued over this and probably have to pay out a lot of freaking money. A lot of freaking money. And you're not going to fire this employee over this? They've been retrained? Yeah, I'm sorry. That's the wrong move. That's the wrong move, Jack. That's insane to me. They agree with what that employee did. That's why they're not firing him. And that's insane. You can't do that. These people have the right to express themselves any way they want to. Any way they freaking want to. And these people don't care about that. These people don't care about the Constitution. We know it. They're trying to take the First and Second Amendment rights away from people. It's insane. While refusing to invoke the 25th Amendment on Joe Biden. Because he doesn't know where he's at. His brain doesn't work. For crying out loud. He had his wife conduct a cabinet meeting. His wife. Remind you of anything? Yeah, that was once reported of Woodrow Wilson did that as well because he was incapacitated. And he is colloquially known as the worst president in United States history. But I disagree with that. I think Joe Biden is. Outright. Because Woodrow Wilson never had the chance to violate thousands of Americans' First Amendment rights, which Joe Biden did. I don't know that Woodrow Wilson tried to force the entirety of the country to pay off student loan debts. Didn't know that. Don't think he did that. He might have been a bad president. But not that bad, in my opinion. Joe Biden is the worst president. But you get these cultists on the left, they'll say, oh, Joe Biden's great. Look at Harry Sisson. He was all for Joe Biden getting reelected until he dropped out. Joe Biden's going to win. That's what he said. Then he dropped out because the emperor had no clothes. We all knew it. We were not surprised by Joe Biden's debate performance. But the corporate press knew this too. But they come out and say, oh, Joe Biden, he just had a bad night. That's what they first tried to report. Yeah. Oh, he just had a bad night. And then once the sentiment was no, it wasn't just a bad night. Then they started reporting on Joe Biden's brain failures, because that's what they are, brain failures. Because his brain doesn't work and he's too old. And then they try to say Trump is in the same condition. Once again, gaslighting the American people just because Trump, he's a couple of years younger. But he's up there. Trump is old. I have no problem saying that. But you go listen to Trump. He hasn't lost a step. Sure doesn't appear to have lost a step. Sure, he rambles. He's got a lot of rambling insanity. Love that word, by the way. But who doesn't at 78? Literally. But he's all there. He's going to make America great again. So get ready for a Trump presidency, because I don't see a path forward for Kamala Harris outside of the shadow campaign. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. But I think I've rambled on long enough on this one. I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comments section. Do y'all not find this just one of the most insane things, or is this just standard? This just normal for the left to just become unhinged and just kick people out of public places? Just insane to me, but that's the landscape we find ourselves in these days, folks. But y'all let me know what y'all think. That's all I got. I want to thank everybody for watching, and y'all try to have a good day. Stay legitical. Peace.